Okay, in this video we're going to do unions and intersections with and without Venn diagrams. I have Chris here with me. This is Kay Crossan. Chris, tell me what you think of when you see this symbol right here.
That means intersection,
Okay.
and that means that you need to find the elements that are in common between the two sets.
Oh my gosh, that was so coherent. Thank you. So intersection, the elements that are common between the two sets. So we need the things that are in both A and in B. Is 1 in A and B?
No.
Okay, is 5 in A and B?
No.
Is 7 in A and B?
No.
Is 8 in A and B?
Yes.
Okay, so when I do it with just looking at the sets, I kind of just go through and I would cross them out sometimes if this is the only problem I was going to do, but I'm going to do other problems. So A intersect B in this case has just that one element 8. So we're going to do that. And what I like to do, a lot of people, it helps them to actually make a Venn diagram of this and have A, B, maybe pink, and B, blue. And it doesn't really matter, but for a lot of people the Venn diagrams help, and for some people it doesn't. So we're going to do these both ways. So for A being pink, we're going to put all the elements in A that belong in A, and B being blue, we're going to put all the elements there that belong there. And I already kind of made the 8 is in the intersection. That's the first thing you usually do when you make a Venn diagram, is if you can't figure out which one it goes in, it's because it goes in both or neither. There's 8. Here's our universal set, which we'll talk about in a second. So I'm going to put the rest of the elements in there really quick. Okay, so we've got the elements that are in A and in B, and I probably want the rest of these too, just because if I make a Venn diagram, I want to have everything in it. So Chris, how do you see this right here? What does this mean to you?
That means X such that X is an element of all natural numbers, with X being less than 10.
Okay, yeah, you read it perfectly. It's the set builder notation. A lot of people don't like that. The notation I like better is the roster notation. And I feel like that's easier to work with. Do you write that down sometimes or not? Not always. For something this small, maybe you don't need to. But do you usually write it down?
I do.
Okay, so let's just write it down really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. I probably should have paused the video because nobody needs to watch me write that. Oh well, there we go. Okay, so there's all the elements there. And what we need to do is make sure that we have all of them. We've got a 1. We've got a 2, we don't have a 3, so that means it's out here. We've got a 4, we've got a 5, we've got a 6, we've got a 7, we got an 8, and we need a 9. And what did I do wrong up there now that we've already started recording the video? So what did I do wrong? Good.
It says X is less than 10, and you should have stopped at 9.
Oops, okay, so here we go. Let's get rid of that and do this better. That's what I get when I make quick videos. Okay, so we've got everything in the Venn diagram where it needs to go, and now I want to address the other one that people do, and I want to do it both ways. The next thing that you would need most likely to find is a union B. So let's work on that. All right, so what's your definition of union? They're always so beautiful. Oh, I was supposed to ask you what the symbol meant, but you know it means union, so go ahead, just tell me.
Union means you need to write all the elements of both sets.
Okay, yeah, so whether it's here or there or both, we're just going to write them all. And they're kind of nicely written out here, but I kind of want to put them in order because I'm a dork that way. But what I would do if I wasn't using the Venn diagram is I would look here and I would just start writing them out. And this is when I would probably start crossing stuff out. I'd be like, 1, got it. And then I don't know if I'd go over here to do it in order, if I'd stay over here, but I like it in order, so I'm going to go over here. 2, got it. Okay, and then the next smaller one is 4, and it's not over there, but it doesn't matter. I got it. And then 5, so I got that guy. And then 6, so I've got you. And then 7, so I've got you. And I only need to write the 8 once. It's in both places, But in the union, it's just one element, so it's just in one place. So which happens to be right there, because the union is, I'm going to draw some lovely shaded pictures here. For A intersect B, it's, do I have my pink? For A intersect B, it is in the shaded area that's right here. And for A union B, joop, joop. I think I need another color. I'm going to do green for union. Oh, my green's not sharp. For A union B, maybe this green's sharp. I'm going to do this whole thing that looks kind of like a peanut when you shade the whole thing in. So there's A union B. And we did it both ways with the Venn diagram and with the kind of just cross them out and see what's shared or not. All right, but sometimes these get way more complicated. What if your universe is the entire alphabet and you have these 3 different sets that they've denoted, and you're asked to find this thing here? So this is D union E intersect F. So we're going to do this in order of operations like algebra, where first we're going to do E intersect F. So I'm even going to kind of color code some stuff. We're going to do E intersect F, and intersect again, which Chris said earlier, is the stuff they have in common. So Q, they both have. So I'm going to this time kind of circle it or highlight it, or I don't know. So Q and then U. Oh, this is funny. It's got a lot of stuff in common, actually. U, both of them have a U. And we're doing intersect. O, both of them have an O. I'm circling an O. It's like an O around an O. T, no, they both don't have a T, but they both have an E. So almost the entire word quote is also in Baroque. There is some similarity. You could probably even make a really bad poem about quoting some Baroque or something, except that doesn't really work because the Q and the T, but I try. So for the intersect, what I'm going to do now is we sort of have the intersect. I didn't write it out yet, but now I'm going to say we need to do D union the stuff that's in the intersect. So I'm going to change this to, I'm going to write down what's in D, and I'm going to write down what's in the intersect of E intersect F. So I'm going to write the Q, U, O, not T, and E. Okay, so that's a weird looking thing. Okay, and then I'm going to write down what's in D, equality, which is a beautiful thing that will probably never exist. That was very pessimistic of me, I'm sorry. Equality, equality. Okay, so where there was a D, I wrote the letters that are elements of D. And where there was E intersect F, I wrote that. So now we need to do union. What does union mean again, Chris?
It means all the elements in both sets.
Okay, all the elements in both sets. So let's make sure we get everybody. So obviously we need equality. So I'm just going to write out equality. E. I love how when they use words for the set. Equality. We obviously need all the letters in equality because we need the things, everybody. So we've gotten everybody here. Again, the green, that doesn't work. We've gotten everybody here, done. And then we already got the Q, we got the U, we need the O, and we already have the E. So all we need to add now is the O. And then that gives us the union of those two. So I first did the intersection of those guys, and then I did the union of the D and this. So you've got to do order of operations when you do these, just like in algebra. Hopefully this will help. And I guess I might even want to make the Venn diagram for this really quick. For a lot of people, they like doing it the method we just did, but for other people, it really helps to see the entire Venn diagram. So it's going to be time consuming, but we're going to do it. I'm going to make sure I place everything in the universal set in the right place. So first I'm going to look at an A. An A is in D, not in E, and yes in F. So A is in D and F, but not E. So D and F, but not E. So it's in this overlap here, but not there. So I'm going to put A there. We've got A. Yay. B, I think, is only in Baroque. So completely only in set F. Is that right? You don't see a B anywhere here. Yeah. Okay, so B. C is nowhere? Agree? No, no. I was trying to put it in Baroque. C is nowhere, right, Chris?
Yeah.
Like in none of them, B, C. So I'm putting C out here. D is also nowhere. E is an equality and quote and Baroque. So where would E go?
E would go in the intersection.
Right, of all of them. So E is going to go
Yeah.
here. Boop. All right. So we've got D, E, F. I feel like is in none of these. There's a bunch of outside stuff. Okay. F, G. There's no G, right? No G. Okay. G. H is also in none of them. I is in just equality. So I goes in set D. J, nobody had a J. No. So J, nobody had a K. Maybe I didn't need the whole set. Sometimes you don't need the outside, and we really don't in this problem because there's no complements, but I'm still going to address it. So I'll just maybe zoom forward in a second. K, L, there is an L. L is only in set D. So, and for my L's, sometimes I make them cursive. I'm just going to make it tall. Hopefully you can tell that's an L. So J, K, L, and then we're going to do M and O. There's no M and no N in any of these. So M, N, and then O is in quote and Baroque. So E and F, but it's not in D. So O needs to go here because it's not also in D. So there's O. So we did those. P, Q. There's no P, but everybody has a Q, right? P out here, but everybody has a Q. Okay, so Q is in all three places. So we did that. R is only in Baroque. So R is only in set F. R. S is in none of them. So it's going to go here. T, equality, quote. So those two. So is in these two sets. T, I'm going to be QR's T. U is in all three of them again. There's a lot of stuff in this intersection. I hope I made it big enough. V, I don't see anywhere. V, there's no W or X. W, X. And there's no Y. There is a Y. There's one Y, but no Z. So Y and no Z. So Y is just in the word equality, and there's no Z. So that had a lot of stuff that's actually completely irrelevant to this problem. So you completely could have gotten away with doing this without having to write any of this stuff. But whatever. Okay. So now we need to look at what's relevant here. So they say we need to look at E intersect F. So E intersect F is this entire thing right here. So E intersect F is all of this stuff. And then it wants us to union that with D. So it means that we need everything in here or anywhere in D. So anywhere in D. So this. And since it's a union between the orange and the green, what that means is that it's anything that has either of these colors. It's either orange or green or both. So let's make sure that lines up. We've got the whole word equality and then just that O that was in the intersection of E and F.